I've got myself into a real family drama mess. This Christmas, things exploded over Grandma's will, and now I'm wondering if I was wrong. So, my family had this big gathering at Grandma's place. She's the rock of our family and just changed her will, which started all this trouble. My Uncle Mike, who's pretty well off, always thought he'd get most of her money. Then there's Aunt Susan, who's had a tough time with money and is really close to Grandma. And my dad Rick, who's always been the chill one in the family, trying to keep the peace. I've been helping Grandma with legal stuff for her will. At the dinner, she announces she's splitting her estate equally among everyone. This was a huge shock, especially to Uncle Mike. He got super mad, saying it was unfair. Aunt Susan backed Grandma's decision, and they got into a big argument. Dad tried to calm things down, but no luck. My cousin Lily, who's a lawyer and Mike's daughter, starts questioning if Grandma's will is even legal. I tried to explain things, but it just made it worse. Uncle Mike accused me of messing with Grandma to get more money for myself, which isn't true at all. The night ended with Uncle Mike storming out, Aunt Susan crying, and Grandma really upset. Dad's disappointed that our family dinner turned into a disaster. Now I feel guilty and mixed up. I was just trying to help Grandma, but it looks like I caused a family meltdown. So, am I the a-hole here for getting involved? Or should I have just stayed out of Grandma's business? Since that night, things have just gone downhill. Uncle Mike is really rallying the family against Grandma's decision, and it's like he's got his own little army now. He's been calling me non-stop, saying I influenced Grandma against him. Aunt Susan, on the other hand, is trying to keep out of the drama, but she's clearly hurt by everything. And Grandma, she's heartbroken. She thought she was doing the right thing by treating everyone equally, and now she feels like she's just caused a war. I've been trying to support her, but it's hard. She keeps asking me if she made a mistake, and honestly, I don't even know what to say anymore. Dad's been doing his best to play peacemaker, but let's just say it's not going great. He's caught in the middle, trying to calm Uncle Mike down while also supporting Grandma's decision. It's like he's trying to put out a fire with a water pistol. As for me, I'm lost. I thought I was helping, but now I feel like I might have just made things worse. Uncle Mike's really good at twisting things, and now some of my cousins are starting to see me as the bad guy too. I'm getting these texts and calls, some supportive, some really not, and it's just a mess. I tried to take a step back and see things from everyone's perspective. Uncle Mike is still furious and is even talking about legal action, which is just making everything tenser. Aunt Susan is trying to stay neutral, but I can tell she's stressed about potentially losing the financial security she thought she had. Grandma Edith is really struggling with all of this. She feels like she's torn the family apart, and it's heartbreaking to see her like this. I've been visiting her more often, trying to reassure her, but it's tough. She keeps questioning her decision and wondering if she should just give in to keep the peace. Dad's attempts at calming things down haven't worked. If anything, it seems like he's just getting pulled deeper into the drama. He's been having long talks with Uncle Mike, trying to reason with him, but Mike's convinced that he's been wronged and won't listen. As for me, I'm feeling pretty overwhelmed. I've received a lot of mixed messages from family members. Some think I did the right thing by supporting Grandma's decision to revise her will, while others think I've just added fuel to the fire. I'm starting to question if I really did the right thing, or if I just made everything worse. I've even thought about reaching out to Uncle Mike to try and smooth things over, but I'm not sure if that would help or just make things more complicated. I'm stuck between wanting to fix things and feeling like maybe I should just stay out of it completely. I made the decision to try and talk to Uncle Mike. I thought maybe if we could have a calm conversation, we might find some common ground, but it didn't go as planned. He's convinced that I've been influencing Grandma against him and is pretty adamant about taking legal action. He says that I've betrayed the family and that I'm just out for my own gain, which couldn't be further from the truth. Aunt Susan has been more understanding, but she's caught in a tough spot. She needs the money but doesn't want to be in the middle of a legal battle. She's been trying to talk to both Grandma and Uncle Mike, hoping to find a peaceful solution, but it's not looking promising. Grandma is more upset than ever. The idea of her family, especially her children, fighting over her estate is tearing her apart. She's been talking about changing her will again, just to stop the fighting, but I'm not sure that's the best idea. It feels like it would just give in to Uncle Mike's demands. Dad's stressed out too. His efforts to mediate have only put more strain on him. He's been losing sleep over this, trying to figure out how to bring his family back together. It's like he's carrying the weight of the whole situation on his shoulders. As for me, I'm feeling really guilty. Maybe I should have just stayed out of this whole will situation. I thought I was helping Grandma, but now I'm wondering if I just made things worse for everyone. After my unsuccessful attempt to talk to Uncle Mike, he's gone ahead and started the process to challenge Grandma's will. It's caused a huge rift in the family, with sides being taken and a lot of harsh words exchanged. Aunt Susan is devastated. She feels like she's being pushed into a corner, having to choose between financial security and family peace. Grandma Edith is now considering just giving in to avoid the legal battle. She's been talking to her lawyer about changing the will back to favor Uncle Mike, just to stop the family feud. It's painful to see her so defeated, especially knowing how important fairness was to her. Dad's doing his best to support Grandma and keep the family together, but it's taking a toll on him. He's been trying to talk sense into Uncle Mike, but it's like talking to a brick wall. He feels like he's failing as a peacemaker. As for me, I'm at a loss. I feel responsible for all of this. Maybe if I hadn't gotten involved with the will in the first place, none of this would have happened. I'm starting to think that maybe Uncle Mike was right, that I was meddling in things I shouldn't have. Now I'm left wondering what to do. Should I try to convince Grandma not to change her will again? Should I just stay out of it and let them sort it out themselves, even if it means the family falls apart? After much thought and your helpful advice, I decided to have one more conversation with Grandma Edith. I wanted her to make a decision that she wouldn't regret, regardless of the family feud. During our talk, Grandma made it clear that her intention was always to be fair, and that she didn't want her legacy to be a family torn apart over money. In a surprising turn of events, Grandma called for a family meeting. Everyone was there, including Uncle Mike and Aunt Susan. Grandma announced that she had made her final decision. She's setting up a trust fund for the grandchildren and donating a significant portion of her estate to charity. The remainder would be split equally among her children. Uncle Mike was visibly upset but seemed to realize that challenging the will further would be pointless. Aunt Susan was relieved, thanking Grandma for finding a solution that kept the family from falling apart. Dad seemed at peace with Grandma's decision, relieved that the fighting had come to an end. He thanked Grandma for her wisdom and strength in handling the situation. As for me, I apologized to everyone for my role in escalating the situation. Uncle Mike didn't say much, but I hope we can move past this one day. Aunt Susan hugged me, saying she understood my intentions were good. This entire ordeal has been a lesson in family dynamics and the complexities of handling such sensitive matters. I've learned that sometimes stepping back is as important as stepping in, and that family conflicts often need more than just a legal perspective. Grandma's decision seems to have brought some closure, although I know it'll take time for the family to fully heal. I'm just relieved that Grandma's final wishes reflect her values, and hopefully, this marks the beginning of a new chapter for us. And